Hey, good morning, everybody. I am thrilled that you're here. I'm glad you're joining me. It's a little bit of a foggy day, but that's what happens. And I'm so glad you're here. Tonight is going to be a big Leonid meteor shower. Unfortunately, it's going to be foggy in the Chicagoland area. So even if I went out at midnight my time, I don't think that, uh, even if I went out midnight my time, I don't think I'd be able to see anything, which is really a bummer. I was looking forward to this meteor shower. It always just seems, it makes life even more magical when we take time to look at the things that are magical and to notice the things that are magical. So today we're going to be talking about something a little bit magical, which is about how our brain and how our body creates the reality that we see. So let me start with a factoid. Our senses are picking up hundreds of thousands of pieces of information. We're feeling wavelengths coming off of people on our skin. We're feeling our nervous system react, things that we smell or see or hear, or even things that remind us of things that we've smelled or heard or seen. All of those parts and pieces, that our past, our future, our worries, our thoughts, the TV we watched last night, all of it goes into us. Hundreds of thousands of pieces of information. So the weird thing is our conscious mind creates what we see, creates our reality based on just five of those pieces of information, just five. So what does that mean? It means that exactly what they've always said. If 100 people are watching the same event, they're all going to see something different. That's because everybody's point of view gives another piece of the puzzle, adds one more piece into that reality. One of the problems we have is we get stuck on those five pieces and we don't think to look beyond them. The best thing for our mental and emotional health is to stretch out, to reach out, to find other opinions, to treat other people's opinions and ideas almost as sacred, because they're seeing a piece of reality. They're seeing five of those 100,000, hundreds of thousands of bits. They're seeing five of those. And if you want to get an idea of the full picture, it's important to listen to those and gather them five at a time if you have to, whether it's reading books from people who have different opinions than you do, or watching videos, or it's about gathering information. There's a whole picture going on. What this video sees, is 100,000 times more than what you're perceiving in your brain, than what your conscious mind is seeing. So here's the thing. When a narcissist is doing whatever a narcissist does, whatever the thing that triggers you and puts you into that space, they're seeing five pieces of information that you aren't seeing. So you're sitting there going, why don't they see this? Why can't they understand this? Because they're focusing on five of them and you're focusing on five of them. And the person over there is focusing on their five of them. So we have to recognize from the very beginning, especially with the disconnect we've had with the world and the technology and the information overload, there's even more information to choose from in every situation, that we have to discern and decide, where it fits in the big puzzle. You almost have to think about that the things that you are focusing on, your reality, the thing that you think is true, the thing that you're reacting to, the thing that the narcissist is reacting to, the thing that the narcissist thinks is true, are those five pieces of information. You probably have little to no idea what those factoids are. It could be that the sky was blue, there was snow on the ground, it was a foggy day, and it was 7 a.m. or 7:34 my time. It could be that all of those things come together, create your picture of reality and create the narcissist picture of reality. So if they walk in a door and they're going to see the five things that they're looking for, that they're most programmed or wired or trained themselves or familiar with, or the neural connections are strongest with, that's what they're going to see. They see reality, they see the truth. We all do, we all see the truth, but we all see different parts of the truth. We all see our own little 5 bits. So when a narcissist is doing what a narcissist is doing, whether you're behaving in a narcissistic way for whatever reason or a toxic person is, the first thing to remember is that they're looking at reality way different than you are. Way different. They're focusing on 5 other bits of reality, which is causing them to respond and react the way that they do. And you don't even know what those 5 bits are because they're not yours. And many times even they don't know what those 5 bits are until after maybe they've processed through and looked at it and taken some time. So what is a narcissist thinking? I can almost guarantee you the exact something completely different from what you're thinking. Maybe you only see 1 or possibly 2 things in common and the other 3 you don't. So how do you break out of this pattern? So, okay, let's look at fight or flight real quick. Fight or flight in physical reality is someone's amygdala taking over. It's someone's fight or flight taking over and coming from that primal protective survival sort of brain. That's where they're coming from. Now, one of the ways to move out of that energy is there's 2 ways that I like. One of the ways is to start looking at other pieces of the picture. So if I'm reacting, to a situation, one of the best things I can do is start focusing on other things that fill the picture out, that make the picture get larger. Because the more information we have, the more we can be present in reality and see what's really going on. And so when a narcissist is doing whatever they're doing, one of the smartest things you can do is to start looking for other pieces of information to fill in the puzzle that are real, that are true. Like the ceiling is white, the carpet is cream, there's a fire extinguisher in the corner, there's a digital clock on the stove. When we start focusing on more and more bits and pieces of information, we start to get a bigger picture. Now, one of the things you can also do with the narcissist is the same sort of thing. We can keep hitting heads, with my 5 pieces of information being different than your 5 pieces of information, which are creating our rock solid reality. This is it. This is the truth. This is where we are. We can do that. Or we can start introducing different pieces of information, even things which break the pattern. It's called a pattern interrupt. When we can do something that breaks the pattern, interrupts the pattern, we can usually get people out of their fight or flight. You know what those are. Loud noises. Have you ever been in a certain state of mind and then heard a loud noise and suddenly your mind was someplace else? Yeah. A questions like, do you think it's going to rain tonight? Or, have we gotten the car looked at? Whatever it may be, asking a question, excuse me, asking a question that's opposite of what the topic is can help people get out of their amygdala and back into their frontal lobe, back into their more balanced thinking, out of the fight or flight. So what is a narcissist thinking? Not what I'm thinking, because almost everybody is thinking differently than I am, because we're all focusing on and gathering 5, our own individual truths, our own individual factoids about a situation. We're each gathering our own. And the more that you gather, the more different opinions you can get, the more different perspectives you can receive, the more the picture fills in. And the more the picture fills in, the easier life gets, because we can see what's coming. We see what's going on. We can see the connections. We see a bigger perspective, like an eagle flying in the sky. If you want to know what a narcissist is thinking, then you can ask them, one. But the second thing is that I like to tell people, when we personally trigger, the things that come to the front of our mind are usually lies. They're the anger and the hurt and the betrayal. They're the past. They're the memories of the past which are coming up. And so you're not being present when you trigger. When you trigger, you aren't in the moment. You're in some other moment that's going on. And so if you can bring yourself back to this moment by adding in as many details as you can, when you can bring people back to this moment, when you can get them regrounded, when you can get them present to what's going on, even if it's a million little small details, then it can get us back into communication. It can get us back into understanding what's going on. But we have to get out of fight or flight because it's going to focus on those five and run with them. And that's all we're going to see. And so our job for us is to keep ourselves out of triggering and out of our amygdala, however you have to do it, and I've used thousands of ways over the years. It's good to have a really big toolkit that you can lean on to help you out with. And so think about it that way. Think about it like you were, Nancy Drew. Think about it as if you were a detective of some sort, Sherlock Holmes, and look at it as gathering information. Try to stay as present as you can. And if you do that, then you can help any narcissist in your life try to stay as present as they can. Okay? So if you want to know what they're thinking, not what you're thinking. And if we want to help everybody evolve and grow, then we help everybody see a bigger picture. And that's why it's so important that you speak up. It's so important that you use your voice because your point of view is critical because you're seeing 5 things that no one else is probably seeing. And so it's important that you notice it and you say something because your point of view is sacred. So if you feel stuck, if you feel trapped, reach out. We've got a wonderful support group. Share this with anybody that you think could really benefit from it. And, let's get us all going in a really good path. Let's move us all in a positive direction because that is how you not only help yourself, but you help the world in a really big way. So have a great day. I'll talk to you later. Bye.